shines in the light, the glorifies my soul and eyes. The rain stops into the night. I walk the shadows of the moonlight. When the time is right and the stars shine bright, I'll kiss my lady through the night. Oh, my lady, do you hear all those whispers in your ear? I walk the shadows of the moonlight. Stars stuck in time, it always seems to seem alright. My thoughts inside, I miss it day and night. There's only one reason to stay up all night. Shadows of moonlight. I'm slipping away, it's almost time. Take my hand, my lady, please don't cry. Hold me forever until I die. Don't be lonely, I'm by your side. I walk in the shadows of Good evening, everybody. Yay to 1,000. Yeah. Okay, let's see who's out there. To all my beautiful subs and my mods, you are the most awesome people there is ever. And to all the new ones that come in here, welcome to a great channel, loving community. And that's the way we want to keep it, and that's the way we are going to keep it. And I do want to say, last night when I was trying to get some rest, that I was tossed and I turned, I just happened, this goes on here, but my bedroom's back there, and I roll over, and I just happened to look at the chat, and there goes Jeff. Way to go, my girl. Elle, you're awesome. I had to laugh. I took a picture of it, man. I took a picture of it. Oh my God, that was super funny. Thank you all. Okay, no, congratulations is to you. The congratulations goes to you because you're the 1,000. All right, you're the 1,000. And I want to say hi to the War Eagle, Natural Healing, Cynthia, Sandy Toes, Pebbles, my girl, Natural Healing, Rach, Willow, the Canadian Cat Lady, my girl Elle. Yes. Oh man, it made my whole night. I was in bed and I just started laughing. And Missy Moo and Teresa and Coffin Daffa Socks and Ron John. Hello, bro. Ruth, Bianca, Deb, my girl. Yes. Ray. Rhea. Is it Rhea or Ray? Rhea? Thank you for the congratulations, but the congratulations is all on you. Kathleen, Bunny, Lisa, Shelly, Sherlock, Joanne, Cryptic, The Borg, CR, Steve, Sherry, Pumpkin, and yes, Pumpkin, that was me singing and playing guitar. Yes, that's a new song coming out on my new album soon. 5 is the name of the album. Who else we got here? Am I missing some people here? Christina. I think it was you that sent me the email last night or the night before, maybe. I appreciate that. Sylvia. Steve, I said. Sherry. Crazy. All right. One thing good about this channel is, Bunny, one thing good about this channel is that you can come in and you can chat, and you don't have to worry about getting, ganged up on or beat up on. This is a pretty loving community, and that's what I love about this, about my subs and about this channel. I'm proud of you. All right, I'm proud of you. I'm hoping some people show up tonight that are supposed to show up here. Let me check. All right. Rory's kind of on the road, but he said he might be in the chat here later or something. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Rory. And anyway, we're going to look at a video and kind of go over. I just want to thank all of you. I mean, this is like an amazing feat for me, and in such a short time, and means a lot to me. So, and I've been working really hard, and I have in the back again today, and yeah, and so it's taken a lot out of me, and that show I was working on, and just to let you know, the information's here, and so
it's just like it comes in these lumps, and then you have to take all these lumps and you gotta like straighten it out and put it ready for presentation. And the presentation on this one is probably going to be the most important presentation I do when I do come up with it. So I really want it to be good. So I'm taking my time, but yet trying to, get it done. So, and I was working on that when all of a sudden someone messaged, "You're at 1,000, you're at 1,000." It was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I guess golf will be here shortly. Um, Rory's going to come in. I don't know if he's going to come up on panel on that. We got to talk him into that stuff. I don't know if he will or not. He is on the road, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to run a video because I want to get you going on some chat and some thinking. And if anybody was echoing, hope not. I hope that fixed it if I was. Okay, so we're going to look at Neeks Peaks. Everybody, I think, likes Neeks Peaks, and I love her. I think it's a great channel, and she's got one out tonight that kind of where Rory and I first started way back when, so it would be fitting. And I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Rory because he's number one that helped me get going, and Golf and Sarge. I mean, those three right there. That's the best panel on YouTube. Period. I think a lot of you will agree with that. And I want to thank those and any creators that have helped me through the times, ones that have supported me and stuff. But Rory's, number one there on helping me get going and stuff. And I really want to send my appreciation to him. And yeah, I'm really happy. I am, but I want you to be happy for you guys, And I'm going to be coming up. I got some ideas. I'm going to be coming up with something real special for all of you. The first 1,000, and I'm working on that, and I'll let you know in a future show. Yeah, was I echoing earlier? I'm just wondering because I just noticed something. I hope I wasn't. Thank you, Raylene. Yeah, okay. I'm going to run this Neeks Peaks. It's pretty good. Let me see. Here we go. All right. If you haven't seen this one yet, it just came out a few hours old here. You'll see it here.
Our babies. You just can't come to our state and hurt our people. We're working with members of the government in Idaho. We're trying to establish that you just can't hunt our babies. You just can't come to our state and hurt our people. It's unacceptable.
Students were found dead in a home near campus Sunday. And in Charlottesville, Virginia, 3 University of Virginia students were shot and killed.
Any indication as to a possible motive?
No, we haven't got down that.
Potential suspects included an ex-boyfriend of one of the victims, but he has since been ruled out. 2 roommates who were inside the home at the time of the killings are cooperating with police, and they're not focusing on them as suspects either, they say. Police do say they believe it's a targeted crime and not random, and they say the community needs to prepare for a lengthy investigation. So, yeah, a lot of questions here. Is that they know it's targeted.
Well, and there's 2 people inside the house when this crime took place.
And stabbing?
Oh, hello. Did we lose sound?
Yeah, here we are with the one and only. I pulled a golf.
Like, oh no, we lost the
Right.
sound.
The golf ass inspector general.
I am here. I'm sorry. I was on the phone with a friend and I couldn't get off. So I was like,
Got carried away a little bit.
got carried away.
Yep.
What's
Happened.
going on, everybody?
Yeah.
What are we
Rory
watching,
said
Tommy?
you'll be coming too. We're going to watch some Neeks Peaks that just came out just
Oh yeah,
about 3 hours ago or something, and it's pretty good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch it or no?
I seen a little bit of it. Yes.
A little bit of it. Okay.
Yes,
All right. Cool.
yes.
Yeah. They love you here. They love you here.
Well, I love them too. I love everybody.
Yeah.
I miss you
Yeah.
guys. I
And
came
I
into
love
chat
you
for
too,
like,
golf.
I love you too. I came into chat for like a few minutes before going to bed yesterday. I was like, hello. I missed
Oh,
them
did
all.
you? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I got crazy. There was 100, almost 200 people in here. 190.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It got really crazy at the end there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
it was
those
really
likes up. We have 138 now. Let's get the likes
Right.
up.
Right. And I want to thank you, Golf, for and then you've helped get this up to 1,000 too. And like I said, was telling them it's them, it's the 1,000. You know what I mean?
It's
them.
you. No. It's all you.
It's them.
Well, yeah, the people that come here and support you, but
Right.
it's your work. Absolutely your work, and nobody can take that away from you. So
No,
congrats on
thank you.
1,000. And now we're going for
Thank you.
10,000.
You're right. Right. Yeah. Oh, Bunny's got it. There's the old ass inspector.
Yes, she's present.
Yeah.
She's present.
Okay, I'll let this play here.
Okay.
I'll start it over because it just started. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just can't hunt our babies. You just can't come to our state and hurt our people. We're working with members of the government in Idaho. We're trying to establish that you just can't hunt our babies. You just can't come to our state and hurt our people. It's unacceptable.
Students were found dead in a home near campus Sunday. And in Charlottesville, Virginia, 3 University of Virginia students were shot and killed.
Any indication as to a possible motive?
No, we haven't got down that.
Potential suspects included an ex-boyfriend of one of the victims, but he has since been ruled out. 2 roommates who were inside the home at the time of the killings are cooperating with police, and they're not focusing on them as suspects either, they say. Police do say they believe it's a targeted crime and not random, and they say the community needs to prepare for a lengthy investigation. So, yeah, a lot of questions here. Is that they know it's targeted.
Well, and there's 2 people inside the house when this crime took place.
And stabbing?
Defendants connected to a Washington group of traffickers were arrested in Pennsylvania. Xana, according to her autopsy report, was from Avondale, Arizona, within the Phoenix metropolitan area.
U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Washington announced the sting investigation.
Fox 13's Frankie Thompson joining us to explain how this all unfolded. Frankie.
Yes, this national drug trafficking investigation started in Pittsburgh last spring. Federal agents were following a key member of the operation who made his rounds in states including Arizona and Washington. With his arrest back in January, it led to 7 more people arrested in Seattle this week.
Tied this back to the Sinaloa cartel.
From coast to coast, federal agents are busting and arresting people connected to a major drug trafficking operation. Information from a wiretap revealed hundreds of thousands of fentanyl pills were entering the U.S. and Washington state.
This national operation has exposed the links that these cartel fentanyl trafficking organizations will go to in order to get the pills into this country and into our communities.
Federal agents say the drugs came from a Mexico-based cartel. During a 10-month national investigation, 90 people have been arrested, including 7 in Seattle.
We're always focused on as high up in a cartel organization operation as we can go. The types of folks that we have here are the mid-level distributors, redistributors. We're not talking about people dealing small amounts on the street.
Reportedly in a relationship with a man from Skagit County, Washington. Skagit County is located near the Canadian border and is situated in a coastal area. The region is classified as highly impacted by drug trafficking and related crimes. Arizona was also named as relevant in the High Drug Trafficking Area Impact Report for the state of Idaho. The DEA's Seattle Division, which is relevant to the geographic area where the murders occurred, has announced arrests that are also pertinent to the locations of several victims. The suspects in these crimes, who are under investigation, are believed to have operated within the jurisdiction of the same division. This highlights the significance of these arrests in relation to the ongoing investigation into these serious offenses. Operation Last Mile, led by the FBI and DEA, targeted high-value criminal individuals in the Idaho and Washington areas. It aimed to dismantle drug trafficking networks facilitating the transportation of drugs from these regions to Canada and Alaska. Alaska's inclusion in the same DEA region as Idaho and Washington is due to the interconnected nature of drug trafficking routes and geographical proximity. Furthermore, it is worth mentioning that the Mad Greek, a restaurant notably established in Alaska, adds an interesting element.
After a multi-state investigation, they're accused of distributing large amounts of methamphetamine and fentanyl throughout southwestern Idaho and eastern Oregon.
Investigation into connections between a white supremacist prison gang and Mexican cartel.
A big bust, a blitz of arrests began over a week ago with 24 people taken into custody, and the search is on for 3 more.
I gotta stop that there for a second. They're saying how big this bust was, but really, it's really nothing compared to what's coming in. And money busted what, and metaphorically, a bishop, but you never see the big ones go down, the ones with the money behind it. You never see like the main ones go down, and there is main ones here in this country that the money, it's where the money, it's who backs it, and the money gets washed in their businesses and stuff, and you never hear of those people going down. And I just wanted to state that.
Well, and you've been saying this from the first time we heard from you via Rory. I remember, and
Right.
this is exactly what you were talking about. Like, this is one part of that connection, so to speak, of the
Right.
drug trafficking, and it's important in this case to take into consideration.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we don't know. I, in my opinion, I think there was a few things involved, but this could definitely be one of them. Not saying that the kids were doing that.
No. We
know.
don't know how they were used, and
Right.
that's
And they might have been
the
trying
point.
to make setups in the house, and maybe Kaylee, I mean, I'm just throwing, spitting on the wall here, or whatever.
Yeah.
They might have been trying to do setups in the house, and Kaylee Maddie said, no, I don't want it in the house. I don't want drugs being, we don't know what kind of angle there could have been. But yeah, when are they going to get the big ones? That's,
that goes up the chain.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
It's like gun trading, it's the same shit. Gun trades happen
Right.
all the time on a high level.
Yep.
So it's the same thing, and you'll never get the big guys ever. I mean, you'll get what are they called, those El Paco, or what is it called? I can't remember what his name. El Chapo, yeah. You get an El Chapo
I know his name.
every now and then. El Chapo. Yeah, so you get those every now and then, but it's so few and far between that they must have done something really, really bad
Right.
to
But that,
deserve it, right?
he's a big one down there. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, there's a big one down there, but and he's really hard to get because he's from a different country. But there's those type here that deal with that big one,
Yeah.
and they're just as big, and they're just as international, and
Yeah.
they don't ever touch them. They never get them. They get all these smaller bishops, and yeah, they never get the big one. They just
Well,
don't.
I mean, I don't, not to go political on anybody, but does anybody remember
Yeah.
about it a couple of weeks ago? They found some cocaine in the White House, and what happened from that? Nothing. And that's just a little part of it. That's not even
Right.
like
Yeah.
a big
Well, I'm
deal,
sure it
right?
wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't Biden's or anything.
Well,
But I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know whose it was. They never came out
Yeah,
and said whose
he's
it
too
was.
old for that.
I'm
That'd
just saying it's
explode his
like
heart.
these things are
Well,
everywhere.
Sarge is here.
And
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It is. It is everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Sarge, did you get the? Here, I'll put the thing on. Maybe he didn't get the. Sarge, I sent you a link, but I'll put it out here too. If you feel like jumping on up.
Well, you're gonna have open panel anyway.
What's that?
Are you gonna have an open panel or?
Yeah. I got it listed as that. Yeah. Well, why isn't it?
I enjoy open panels because I want to hear
Yeah, I
from
know
everybody.
you do. Right. Okay. I'm not. Oh, geez. How did that happen?
Oh, that link again.
Well, it keeps switching channels on me. Okay, wait in here. There we go. There you go, Sarge. If you want to jump up. Okay, I'm going to let this play.
Partnership between the powerful Sinaloa cartel and a white supremacist prison gang known as the Aryan family. The haul included nearly 2 million doses of fentanyl, enough to kill everyone in Seattle and Tacoma, along with 500,000 more. These are most of the 27 indicted, with alleged links to the Aryan family prison gang and Sinaloa cartel.
In the Aryan family prison gang and other gangs, all under the umbrella of white power and white supremacy.
The alleged leader is 39-year-old Jesse James Bailey of Steelecombe, Washington.
This narrative that's being pumped with the last mile media and press highlights the alarming role of social media in empowering cartels to infiltrate American society and distribute drugs, according to the FBI and DA reps, simplifying the cartel's tasks. Adding an interesting twist to the narrative, the attorney who wrote Wake Up Parents, a book addressing the issues linked with social media, is also available for speaking engagements at local conventions. Criminal defense attorney and was a former prosecutor and reservist police. This very attorney was enlisted by the family of Kaylee to represent them, adding a new dimension to the story being disseminated.
25 people were arrested, and we're told the majority of them have ties to the Jalisco Nuevo Generation cartel. This is a list of some of those facing charges.
The investigation enters its fourth week. Kaylee's father is expressing disappointment with the local police.
Do you feel confident in the police investigation and the people investigating?
I do not feel confident, and that's why I push the envelope and say a little bit more. I hate to be that guy, but there's a job to do for everybody. Has a job and a role to play in this. This is my role as the play in this.
Wouldn't realize that he had that going through his head.
Did you sense anything from him, any emotion in that moment, in that courtroom?
I did. I sensed somebody shocked and scared and not prepared, like almost like a sense of like this is nothing like I thought it was going to be. So his mannerisms, his body language, I'm pretty in tune with certain guys. I played sports my whole life. I've been in different gyms.
I kind of like how he said that he wasn't very confident in them. But Cryptic, it says that your devices are not connected. So you might want to leave and try to come back or fix the issues that are. It's either your mic or something isn't. It says device is not connected. So I thought I'd let you know. Did somebody say Rory's here? And you got new jokes, Sarge? And here's Mr. Sergeant Friday.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, brother? Man,
I'm
been a
doing
while.
awesome. I'm doing awesome. You guys want a couple of good jokes?
Yeah, please do.
All right, I'll start out with the simple ones, and I only got 3, so here they go. You ready?
Okay. All right.
All right. So how can you tell the difference between a male and a female snowman? Snowball. Snowball. What happens when you jingle Santa's balls? You end up with a white Christmas.
Oh. Are you getting ready for the holidays?
Listen, let me just say the last joke. This is a good one. I think
okay.
The ladies might even appreciate this, but probably not. What's 6.9? It's a period wrecking a good time.
I want more Christmas jokes.
Oh man,
that one went over my head.
Last one, right?
Right. Yep.
The 6.9 is my favorite one, though.
Okay. Well, I like Christmas jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, so do I. And it's, you know what? When you get to October, it's not really that far.
No. Be ho and pretty soon.
Right. All right. Yeah, they ho a little too early.
This may disqualify me from telling jokes, but here's my last one. Okay, you can tell me if it disqualifies me. How can you tell when a hooker is full?
What? Say that again.
How can you tell when a hooker is full?
Full.
Oh God.
Full.
Oh yeah. God. Oh my God. This could go different ways here.
Her nose runs.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Oh my God. Oh.
There you go. You all miss me? You want me dead? It's one or the other.
Oh my God. Yeah, those are good. Those are good. Cryptic, same problem. Your devices are not connected. So your mic isn't working or something isn't. It's probably the mic.
Yeah. Turn off the video or the cam. That might help.
Yeah, turn off you got a little button down there to click to turn off the cam. You can try that. Otherwise, I don't think I can help you on this end. No, all I can do is either kick you or ban you or edit your name. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, Crypto. Can you hear me at all? I bet you. Can you hear me? Or what? Oh, wait a minute. There's something going on. Oh, he's talking in here. Oh. No, no, you're not banned, dude.
We don't hear anything.
Okay, he does. Oh, wait. Hold on a second here. Okay. Are you seeing what's going on in private there, you guys?
Oh.
Okay. Oh, is Rory in? People keep saying hi, Rory, and I don't see him in here.
I don't see him either.
He's right there. Thou shalt not kill.
Oh, I keep looking for Rory.
Now.
Oh yeah, now
No,
I see
but
him.
I didn't see him before. It's like, is he blocking me?
I don't know what to tell you on that one, Cryptic. I usually leave that up to my mods. I can see where that would be a joke. Yeah, Cynthia, can you pass that on to Joanne? Joanne, I'm going to undo this. Actually, I can't. I can, but I got to go. Okay,
Not an easy task.
go back and forth. Yeah, and I don't know how. I got to go looking for you. I don't know where you're at there, brother.
I think they can. You guys can unblock, right?
Yeah, they can do it. Can you please do that, Joanne? Give him one more chance. He said it was a joke and it was misunderstood. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it. And that's Cryptic Conversations. She misunderstood. He's saying. Yeah, you can, Cynthia. Yeah, thank you.
Bad people with bad jokes is what you should probably start out with.
Yes,
right,
bad ones.
The bad ones, right?
Yeah.
Cryptic, you can leave the studio down below. That little red circle, it says leave studio. You go ahead and leave the studio or wait. Yeah, I think you can leave the studio and try to come back in. I think Joanne will do that if she hears me okay and everything. Let me see what she's saying here. I'm not seeing that word. How do I do it? Oh, no, they didn't time you out, Cryptic. Okay, whoever banned Cryptic or timed him out, can you undo it, please? I don't want to have to sit here and have to go all the way backwards trying to find this.
I don't see Cryptic in the chat room.
No, he's in backstage. He's talking. I don't know even how he got back there. To tell you the truth, I don't see how you got back here if you're banned. I'm going to kick you from the studio though, so you can try to get back in.
He didn't want to talk, or she, or I don't know. You know,
ask you to Urban Cryptic. Yeah, I don't want. Someone timed it out, not me. Joanne says so. War Eagle, was that you? Tommy, that was way back. I cannot undo it. Yeah, I don't know, Cryptic, what to tell you, buddy. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, it was just a timeout. That time's
yeah, it was just a timeout. You might be able to get back in now.
Yeah.
Wish they had that shit when I was a kid. Cool. They didn't have that when I was young.
Rory, what are you doing? Come up here.
Yeah, that was just a joke, War Eagle. All right, let's continue.
I've been in conference rooms with white collar. I can sense confidence, and I did not sense that at all. I sensed somebody who was flaring, scared, and worried.
Facing prison time after a major drug trafficking bust involving campus fraternities.
A little hesitant didn't think it was quite what DEA needed to get involved in, and I was surely wrong. When we started looking into it, we realized we had a major drug trafficking organization with ties all the way to a Mexican drug cartel and an individual associated with that in California. From California to North Carolina, over 1,000 pounds of marijuana, steroids, ecstasy, Molly, LSD, you name it, they were distributing all of it. It was coming, being shipped through vehicles from California to North Carolina, and then through the Postal Service, and then the proceeds were being sent back the same way through proceeds, but also through Venmo, PayPal. We have over $1.3 million in transactions over Venmo with this organization. Well, they thought they were safe. They thought they were in the confines of a safe haven of a university, and then even more confined into the fraternity system. They thought, that sense of loyalty. And I know you were a member of a sorority and I was a member of a fraternity, and actually we shared the same university. This is not the mission of these fraternities and universities. No parents send their kids to learn how to be drug traffickers or actually even worse, come out of college addicted to drugs. And that's what we had going on here.
What sorority are they affiliated with? I don't know. I don't know if they're associated with the. So I guarantee you they're associated with the sorority.
Yeah, and if they don't come out, we just contact landlords. Or we come back the next day or the next time you work. And just note that lack of cooperation does not go a long ways with us.
They're kind of just telling me that they can't tell me much, which is frustrating to me because I've been very trustworthy. I do know things. I haven't shared things.
Defund the police perspective advocates for a restructuring of financial resources, not the complete abolition of police funding. Instead of providing the police with a surplus for military and paramilitary equipment, these funds could be reinvested into community services such as mental health treatment, education, and housing. This approach emphasizes a less militarized, community-based model of safety and crime prevention rather than unproven needs for extensive equipment. A better topic, though, would be why this is brought up by Kaylee's dad. Why would the idea of the public finding out about his daughter and her friend's murders emphasize the idea and structural benefits of defunding the police? Would it be because the public would be receiving reports of the actual price and burden on human life for which undercover operations often cost?
What we did, we know that we have some family passwords that we all share. So we broke in and we helped them. So it's hard for me to give up as a father my protective ability to other men.
Sir, they have shared with us that it was a targeted attack. Can you give us any information about that? Have they told you who the target was or given you more insight than they have the public?
I don't want to talk bad about them. I'm doomed without them. We're all doomed without them. This defund police is just a terrible idea. The fact that we're finding out that there's more than just my daughter and these children that have suffered, it's terrible to think that we can defund these guys. It's an absolute atrocity. That's not something that is it's political. It's not political. This is just facts, guys. We can't allow these people to just run free. So beyond that, they haven't shared a lot. We have some private detectives that have reached out to us and given us information.
All right, so my foreigners, bear with me because this is confusing to even Americans, and I've tried to figure out the simplest way to explain it. The United States has a lot of alphabet agencies on a federal level. Those agencies will work with state, local, and municipal authorities in task force and sting and undercover operations in order to interrupt criminal enterprise. Even in those operations, one agency will take the lead, and the other agencies are affiliates that are helping out, essentially. But everybody gets paid the same, so who cares, right? But I've often wondered why this case hadn't already been kicked to the feds a long time ago. And it could be because it's a conflict of interest in and of itself if any of the victims or the perpetrator were to be a federal agent themselves, especially where it might pertain to public corruption. In a public corruption operation, one of the most dangerous types of criminal enterprises to interrupt, you might not know who is your friend or foe, which actually reminds me of one of the operations that have been announced this year, Operation Friend or Foe. One of the multiple public corruption operations that have been announced this year with all of the defendants who haven't officially been named as public servants, such as Jesse James Bailey, and his wife. It's often reported that his wife was a corrections officer, but he himself had been a correction officer at some point, and he was forced out of public service because his wife apparently was associated with top members of the Aryan Nation as well as Mexican cartels. It turns out she was doing a lot of dirty deeds, even on the inside. That's right, not just Idaho State Police, but also the Washington and Idaho Department of Corrections have been involved in several of the operations that have been announced this year. But here's the really juicy part. At first, during some of the MPD press releases, they actually included details about the federal agencies that have been lending a hand. Now, although the FBI refused to comment on exactly why they were helping in the Moscow case, they give a generic answer like, yeah, we help out with cases all the time. And sure, they do, especially where it comes to like international crime, etc. No, as far as they tell it, I'm really not seeing where all of these agencies are needed. It's an open and shut case. Take the top investigators in the country to help you out with that. Or, maybe it does over in Hog Heaven. I don't know. But guess what? They happen to include the fact that Hog Heaven is joined by Snake Valley. Isn't that something? Boise is historically called Snake Valley, while the other dirty police force is called Hog Heaven. GTFO. Well, Hog Heaven being Moscow today, and Snake Valley now being Treasure Valley, the area which encompasses Idaho's largest city, Boise. But it should come as no surprise that they were involved. Not at all surprised to see the Treasure Valley Task Force already involved in the Idaho murders. Why? Well, because day 4, day 5, looking into the case, it all became a little bit clearer. That's why I'm not shocked. But let me tell anyone who doesn't believe that there was a covert operation going on why they should be shocked that the Treasure Valley unit was involved in the Idaho murders.
In the early press releases about the case from Moscow, they highlighted the involvement of the FBI and detailed which field offices were partaking. The inclusion of the Salt Lake City FBI is not surprising since this specific office has jurisdiction over Idaho and Montana and Utah. What raises curiosity, however, is the mention of the West Virginia FBI. To clarify, West Virginia falls under the jurisdiction of the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania FBI field office, as there is no separate FBI field office in West Virginia. This unexpected link adds an interesting twist to the case. The involvement of various FBI locations in this case offers some intriguing details for close analysis. It's notable that the reference was made to the Treasure Valley FBI. One might expect the Boise Field Agency to be mentioned as it covers the Treasure Valley area, but interestingly, it is not the resident agency with jurisdiction over Lotta County, the location in question. The Lewiston FBI Resident Agency, which is part of the Quad Cities Task Force operating in 4 counties in the area, has jurisdiction over Lotta County. Lewiston is geographically closer, and there are 3 other resident offices located nearer to the area than the Treasure Valley office. If, for any reason, the Lewiston office was conflicted out from investigating, it would be unusual for the farthest resident office to be involved, rather than one that is logistically closer and has immediate jurisdiction in the area, unless it was already involved in the case. However, the crucial point to note here is the dual coverage of the Treasure Valley area by the FBI and DEA partnerships. The reference to the Treasure Valley, rather than Boise, likely indicates a cooperative effort by the task force, possibly investigating organized crime activity relevant to the area or victims of the Moscow murders, rather than an investigation by the FBI alone. In summary, the FBI offices in Salt Lake City, Boise, and Treasure Valley are working together in a collaborative effort on this case. Notably, this collaboration includes offices that traditionally do not have jurisdiction over Lotta County, such as the office in Lewiston. The involvement of the Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh office is suggested by a reference to a West Virginia office in a note from Lotta County, indicating a connection to the Pennsylvania office which holds jurisdiction over West Virginia. This suggests a broader cooperative investigation potentially involving organized crime groups spanning these regions. It's also important to note that while Boise doesn't directly hold jurisdiction over Latah County, it does have connections to Salt Lake City. Moreover, many individuals involved in the case also have ties to the Boise area. The Moscow City Police stopped specifying which FBI agencies were involved in their cases. This change may have been aimed at preventing individuals from drawing conclusions about the undercover collaborative work between different field agencies, especially in the context of announced arrests and indictments.
He has resigned from his position with the Boise Police Department. It's effective next month on October 14th, and the resignation comes at the request of Boise Mayor Lauren McLean. It also comes just 24 hours after KTVB's investigative reporter Alexandra Duggan her report about Chief Lee and the complaints within the department. Lee will be on leave for the rest of his tenure. McLean has appointed retired officer Ron Weiniger as acting chief. He's expected to start on Tuesday, September 27th.
Pittsburgh has a troubled past.
Ryan Lee resigned from his last job after a number of violent allegations. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman is live outside Pittsburgh Police Headquarters.
Spoke with the executive director of the city's Citizen Police Review Board, who says Ryan Lee's checkered past raises a lot of questions.
I have some serious concerns about the background of this individual that is being rumored to be the next chief of police.
Sources tell Channel 11 that the former Boise, Idaho police chief Ryan Lee may become the new Pittsburgh police chief. Lee spent years with the Portland, Oregon department before becoming the chief in Boise. However, while he was chief, Lee allegedly broke a sergeant's neck during a tactical demonstration. Channel 11 obtained this letter from prosecutors to state police and Boise police last year, saying it was not an easy decision, but they had decided not to charge Lee. The letter also says Boise officers who were there told prosecutors Lee bragged about the number of hands-on use of force incidents he experienced in Portland and was even involved in a violent incident with a coworker in Portland. Here in Pittsburgh, Beth Pittenger wants to know, was the incident taken into account before he was selected, and who was part of the recommendation to the mayor?
We understand there were 3 committees established to review the final 3 candidates that were recommended by the contractor, but we do not know how they vetted these candidates. We don't know who the candidates were. That was a very secretive process.
I spoke today to Alex Duggan. She's an investigative reporter at the NBC affiliate in Boise who covered Lee's time as chief. She told me there have also been multiple complaints of low morale in the Boise Police Department. Duggan told me Boise's mayor did ask Lee to resign after the complaints about him were made public.
The Pittsburgh Bureau of Police right now is in need of some secure stability, some clear direction, and established approach to the practice of law enforcement in the city of Pittsburgh. Yes, the morale is poor.
We reached out to Mayor Ed Gainey's office asking if Lee has been selected and if his background was taken into consideration. Gainey's office said the mayor will be making his announcement for the next chief of police within the next 2 weeks.
Not something that you really expect for a national story to come back to our area.
In Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley, where he spent the bulk of his 20s.
DeSales is kind of its own sort of campus outside of Bethlehem in a more rural area.
5,000 total students.
It's a small school. It's not like it's a Penn State or a Pitt or a Temple. It's a very small school in a cornfield. So if you go there, you know most of the people within your study and pretty much everyone that goes to the school. And he was.
What's WSU?
That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing it because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh,
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
oh, okay.
Yep. So we're slightly punched because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours to drive. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
There was a mass shooting and everything.
Where? Interesting.
Well, it's horrifying because he's supposed to university. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So y'all work at the university there?
I actually do work there.
Oh.
I actually do work there.
Oh. University there?
I actually do work there.
Oh.
I actually do work there.
Oh.
Brian Koberger.
We reached out to Koberger's entire criminal justice graduating class for this story, but his classmates either didn't reply or denied our request for an interview. The DeSales University, quote, sent a general communication that suggested everything go through the university as to be respectful of the ongoing situation. Vice President of Marketing and Communications told us via phone the school did not discourage students to speak with the media, but that she was available to assist in media requests on a case-by-case basis.
You would never expect someone to be allegedly part of a quadruple homicide, ever.
Just across the hall from Koberger's Pullman, Washington apartment lives Christian Martinez. He says Koberger's dad approached him early on.
The dad was like wanting to introduce me to Brian, and he said something. I don't remember the exact like word he used to describe him, but it was something that was like he has a hard time making friends, or he's kind of shy, or something like that.
A normal dude, average Joe type person, you would never, like, you don't know what's under people's skin.
You look up in the rafters, they had police with binoculars, they had undercovers, they had a ton of police, the metal detectors I mentioned.
Thinking of dealing drugs like fentanyl or methamphetamine in Idaho should think twice, because along with the DEA and our law enforcement partners, we will spare no effort to hold you accountable and keep Idahoans safe.
Well, welcome there, Miss Cynthia.
Hi.
Rev Cynthia.
Yes,
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
I'm doing well.
Good to have you up here. That whole thing there, I used to bury shit like that too. When I see that. And I used to deliver to this one dude that, I mean, he had like, oh my God, you wouldn't even believe the what he had buried. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, he had like rooms down there. But we didn't deal in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like weed stuff. I was just an old hippie. It's a little bit different than
times are
nowadays.
different, Tommy.
Yeah, they are. And kind
completely
of
different world.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't know. I didn't know if this tied in. I mean, she was trying to make tie-ins there, and I don't know if this was one of her better videos or not or anything, but
who made the video?
It was Nick Peaks. It was really good. But just I didn't think that got connected real well there. I don't know. What do you think, Go? What do you think, Sarge?
Yeah, no, that was my issue too, is like you stick to the drugs and there's plenty of information, I think, on that one. And then he jumped around a little bit about different things. And yeah, I mean, it's a very good and comprehensive video. It's just break it up into like maybe 2, and separate it. But I mean, she did it fantastic. Or if it's a she, I don't know. I'm sorry.
It sounds like a she, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But
He
you
or
never
she
know.
did a really good
Right.
job, and I wish it would have broken up in 2 so that we could focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, it
Just
was
personal
like 27
preference.
minutes. Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And there was a lot of different information in there. What did you think, Sarge?
I thought it was well presented, and I thought it touched on a few points that go all the way back to the beginning when can't speak for others, was insistent that this is drug related in some way.
Yeah.
Right.
That this wasn't
Right.
some lunatic kid that's shy and whatever the nonsense with Koberger, he doesn't fit the bill. I don't know. I'm going to tell people just try this, folks. Go attack somebody. I don't care if they're sleeping or not. Go attack somebody and see what happens.
Right.
Okay? I don't know what kind of world we think we live in, but it ain't a movie world. When you attack somebody, I'm telling you, it's not as pleasant and as easy as you think it is.
No, it isn't. No,
Right? Like you
not at
want
all.
quick and easy, you go in there with a gun and you put a bullet in the back of their head. Small caliber, so it ricochets inside the skull bone. That's how you take
Right.
someone out. You don't go in there with a K-bar knife.
No.
Alone?
Alone?
In
In your
8
own
minutes.
car?
I mean, it just, yeah, it didn't happen that way. It
This
didn't.
guy is he's the genius of geniuses because of his criminology degree, but he doesn't have a criminology degree that focused on DNA, but clearly he's a genius on hiding his tracks that way. He has a criminology degree on IT and electronics. The very things you're saying put him at the scene. Right? So what did he do? He threw all his training out the window and became a DNA expert, knows how to clean up microscopic particles. It's crazy.
Right. It's stupid. And I know what you mean by like going to attack somebody. I remember being in boxing for a while, and I'll tell you what, man, you go in for like a fucking 3-minute round, dude. You're wiped out, man.
Yeah. I used to box, and I could never get guys my
Is it?
weight class. I was only 135 pounds. And
Right.
these 190-pound guys would hit me, and I'd fly across the ring mad as a little pit bull boy. I'd jump up, I'd come back at him. Man, I was like that little yipper dog you weren't getting rid of.
Right. Well, that's I was bigger than there was one guy, Terry, and we had a real good boxing program. A lot of Golden Glovers and stuff, and we're all younger, and
that was too.
Right, and he was a Golden Glover, and I kept telling Croc was the name of our boxing instructor or whatever, and boxing coach or whatever. I kept telling him, put me in the ring with Terry. Put me in there. I'm not putting you in the ring with Terry. It was my first day, dude. Put me in the ring with Terry. He's a Golden Glover,
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay, all right. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done that, dude. Those 3 minutes were probably the longest 3 minutes of my life.
They really are.
Yeah.
If people don't realize it, just try to hold your arms up in front of you for 3 minutes and then stop for a minute and do it again. Tell me what your arms feel like at the end of 6 minutes. You wish you never even tried doing it.
Right. I didn't last in
Right.
boxing, by the way.
I got it.
Yeah, I mean, football and those sports, you get breaks. And when you go in to try to take somebody out, there's no break. There's no.
No, if you take a break, you get punched in the head.
Right. Yeah. 8 minutes, 2 minutes a person. I don't think so. That ain't happening. What do you think, Cynthia?
I got word that this Detective John wants to debate me.
Oh, there you
I
go.
want to see
There you
that.
go.
He's
I'd
probably a
love to see
master
that.
debater, and I don't get anywhere near guys like that.
Right. Master debater.
Before we go on, can I just say happy birthday, Sarge? Yep.
Hey.
Yes.
And I would
Happy
sing
birthday,
for
Sarge.
you if I had a better voice.
Happy birthday
I'm not gonna,
to you.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
And also, Tommy,
Mhm.
super duper congrats again on your 1,000 subs.
Yeah, well, it's
great.
the people, the people made it happen, and that's I give it. all
Sorry,
the
I had to
credit
do a
them.
break there for you. Now we can move
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Oh, Cynthia, what did you think of the video, and give me any thoughts on the case, really, because I haven't really
Okay.
heard your thoughts on the case, up here.
I've thought from the beginning that it was drug related somehow. Not necessarily that those kids were on drugs because they seem to be functioning pretty well, but it's somehow related to drugs. And after I saw the videos that Billy did and actually saw what she was talking about in them, in those reflections, I'm convinced that it was a group effort that was coordinated, and the police are involved, and just, it's scary. It scares me. So
Yeah, that's a scary scenario. Yes.
yeah, the cartels, fit right into that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff they do.
They definitely could. Yeah, they definitely could. And there could be, a few things. In my opinion, I think there's probably a few things involved, not just one,
Mhm.
like just drugs or just frats or just. I think it was a few things.
Right.
Wasn't Zena tied up
think
with human trafficking, sex trafficking, and children trafficking. Wasn't she doing something about that? Zena?
Who? Zana?
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that one either.
I've heard that she had some interest in trying to get that stuff settled, to work to fix that. Like that's what I understood a long time ago, going back,
Trying to fix it, right?
Bring awareness to it and because all
Right.
the child sex trafficking that comes.
I might have heard. Are you talking about Kaylee?
One of the girls. I thought it was Zena. I could be wrong. It was
Might have been Kaylee.
There you go. Someone's bringing it up. It was Kaylee. Okay.
Yeah, it was Kaylee. Yeah, she's like us. She was a sleuth. She watched online crime and who knows if she might have been up here at some point in her life.
There's a lot of motives out there. Is my point. It could be drugs. It could be that they're involving themselves in things that make these cartels big money. What would be sex trafficking, right? Children. That actually in dollar amount, believe it or not, the trafficking of children is the biggest business on earth.
It is. It is.
On earth.
Yes. Yep.
That's
what kind of sycophant buys
It is
somebody
sad.
for that? I mean, I don't understand, man. What's happened to this world?
I think they should start in Colorado. the place, the farthest away from any port. You know what I mean?
It
knows how to hide.
Drugs and the sex are the biggest trades on earth, and that's tragic, man.
Right. Yeah.
And I think Maddie may have flushed some drugs that, or some product.
And that could be too. Yeah.
Well, he said the house was targeted. So listen, as far as I'm concerned, those are words that are spoken after an investigation has been done in your own area. So where the problem houses are. You don't just say a house was targeted. Who runs around shooting houses?
Right.
Right. What kind of statement is that, you stupid crack smoking cop? Explain yourself.
Crack isn't that Golf's area?
Yeah, exactly.
Ass cracks, yeah. No, that you're right. You're right. It's a strange way of defining something like this.
Right.
That the house was targeted.
Right.
Yeah. What do you mean by the house is targeted? That only
and why
means
only
one
4
thing.
of the 6? That's something I'll never accept either. 4 of the 6, and one of them seen you leave.
What that makes me think is somebody might have been pumping some stuff out of there, and I'm not saying any of the 4. I'm saying somebody else that was going there, and they even will pay the person in the house, somebody in the house, to let them set up and sell crack out of the house or meth or whatever, because that was a high traffic house. You know what I mean? And so, of course, if you're a drug dealer, you're going to be going, I want action on that. Know what I mean? And go offer somebody money or do it behind their backs. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and start selling stuff out of the house without even them knowing it at these parties.
Well, yeah, it's a party house.
So that's right. And that's what makes me think when they say targeted, then why are we on Brian?
Yeah, I
That's
don't think he
that's
had
the whole
anything to
He
question.
do
was
with
the
it.
easiest solution, obviously.
Right.
He was
Well,
the
that
easiest
doesn't.
solution. And I swear to God that I think that there's enough factual data to show that the DNA on that sheath, Brian's or not, was placed there
Yep.
by the police themselves
Yep.
unwittingly.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I think.
Corey has shown us they got recruitment ads inside of the university, inside the criminology department. The police are recruiting people from there. There's a constant in and out and back and forth between active duty and new recruits and all of those people connected to law enforcement and Idaho and Washington and the state police in both states. They're drawing people from there. They're probably even using their facilities. They're using their labs. They're using their students, right? That to me is how Brian Koberger's DNA got involved.
Well, we know
here.
that
That's
happened
the
because
biggest tragedy of all.
we've seen the email, Sarge,
What do you mean?
that he sent to Pullman police.
No, but Rory showed us an advertisement inside there.
Yeah, I know, but
recruiting, you
I
know?
mean, we're saying that. What I'm saying is, we've seen that in an email that he was actually applying for these positions. So
Right,
it's
he
not
was,
just
but this is way more than Brian. It's the establishment of their CSI team and their policemen is having connections and going in and out of that building.
Of course,
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and of course there's a lab that if Brian's taking criminology and he's going to school, and that's the first place that, and I'm sure they share labs. I'd like to know where the main lab is. Is the main lab at Idaho or is it at Washington?
It wouldn't even matter. Listen, where these people live that are on the CSI team? Do you honestly think that Brian, the champion chess club guy, didn't hang out with other chess players? Do you really think that he didn't interact with the people that investigated that house? He had no contact with those people?
Oh,
How is
yeah,
that
I'm sure he did,
possible? People had said that he was highly interested in the crime, and anybody in a criminology course would be, that's like, your favorite
Right.
football team going to a Super Bowl. You're going to watch the show. You're going to talk to your friends about that, right? So how is it that, there's like nobody's really made this argument that strong, but to me, the facts show me that he was connected to those people in one way, shape, or form casually. And that's how his DNA got in that button.
Do you think
Not
it's
because he
or
touched
it
the
was
knife, not
planted,
because somebody he dropped
Yeah.
somebody off. I honestly believe it came from a casual, unbeknownst to anybody, this happened. And this kid's in this jackpot for it.
Do you think it's possible that the police were pissed off because he said early on that he wanted to bring them into the 20th century, basically on the cloud forensics?
Not at all, because he was dealing with
I
electronics.
think there was a few different things going on. I think there was some pissed off frat boys. Not just
microscopic.
that.
I mean, how do you
Not just
plant
that. Not just that. At Brian, because he was a asshole of a teacher, from what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a bunch of pissed off students at this guy.
Yeah.
And then you have people from the frat pissed off at Ethan. And I think there's a combination there, in my opinion.
How do you plant microscopic DNA? How do you do that?
The only way would be like, the only way would be like a what do you call ear thing?
I just don't know how you could plant microscopic DNA and be sure that you would have enough of it to get an identity of somebody, no matter what crazy means they used on this one. But the point is,
microscopic. Yeah, that's
how
a
are you
tough
going to
one,
plant
man.
microscopic DNA on a nice?
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
It's impossible.
I wonder if they use paper applications or if they did it online. Because if he filled something out on a paper or signed his name and touched the application or the paper, that would be good for 6 months. I looked it up.
That would
And
still
they
be a
could have
reach if
gotten
you're
it-
going to try to. Why would you try to use a minuscule amount when you can actually find another way to put the guy's DNA at the scene?
Oh, they might not have known how much they had. They just swabbed it with a
Nah.
swab and put it inside the snap.
No, I don't think that can
No?
be established. No.
Well, maybe not. I could be wrong, but
I
that's
think
just,
most of what can be established is that they're idiots and they jumped the dog when they shouldn't have. They should have kept it in
True.
their pants, and they should have followed procedure,
Well, that's a fact.
right?
That's a fact.
Right.
Yes.
And that's where the majority of American corruption is inside of these agencies. It's not somebody planting evidence to get you, although you see that all the time. But really, the corruption that leads to that are these cops do not follow their policy and procedure. They think they're above you and me. They're separate from the citizenry, and they take leave. They take leave with what their decisions aren't based on the law. They're based on what they feel or think, or if they had a bad cup of coffee. That's the corruption. It's just inappropriate people doing a job they shouldn't be doing.
Well, and
Right? It'd be like
there's
taking a
always
crackhead, making him your
money
airline pilot.
behind it too. There's always money behind it too. So
Not
you
in
think about,
corruption, there isn't. Not all the corruption has money.
I mean, in this case, there's
Yep.
a strong indication that there was
Right,
money
but
behind it, you know,
can I
because
just say, though,
of
this
the
is why
universities.
That's
the
right,
only
Golf.
reason I push back against that is that I agree with you. That's the one we see. But the real endemic corruption is a lack of qualified personnel doing the job. That is a form of corruption that people don't, for some reason, won't recognize as corruption when in fact it is.
Sure, but
Right?
that's a side issue in this case. The
No,
main
no, they
issue,
went and they got an arrest warrant for a guy they should have went and got a swab from.
yeah, but that you can thank the university for that.
No, you could thank the cops for being stupid enough to not put procedure before jumping the dog.
Well, they had to. What if they were forced to do it?
They could have picked Brian Kohlberger up and brought him in. They didn't have
That
to go
wasn't
get an arrest warrant for the guy.
They couldn't afford to do that, is what I'm
Oh, come
saying,
on, man.
because they needed an arrest before school
They could have said
started.
they have a suspect in custody.
That wouldn't have made it enough.
It would have
I'm
been
telling you. I'm telling you. And they for some reason thought that this guy was guilty. For some reason, because I'm telling you, and I know you disagree with me on this one. They had an informant, and it wasn't the FBI. Somebody else kicked in that name from the beginning.
Whether they did or not, let's review what they did. So let's say
The only way they could do that, Sarge, the only way they could do the microscopic would be in a lab. Think about it.
Yep, maybe.
Yep.
In a lab.
That'd be
But
the only
here's what I'm
way.
saying is I don't think the corruption in this case has got anything to do with the cops framing somebody. I think it's got everything to do with the pressure that golf inspector was just saying.
But
Correct.
the kids could have tried to frame him.
It's a difficult
Know what I
thing to
mean?
do. It's beyond difficult.
I'm just wondering about this whole thing that we got on to golf with that car.
Then
That
why
car
admit there's 3
in
other
Oregon?
DNAs there?
And
Why admit the 3 other DNAs, Tommy?
What's that?
Why do they admit that there's 3 other DNAs at the scene?
They
including
didn't
Kohlberger?
tell when. That was just recently. Yeah.
No, they told us this a
It
couple
was
of
in
months
the
ago now.
PCA, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No,
What
not
I'm
on
saying
the
is, though,
PCA,
if they
no.
framed the guy, if they framed him, this is why I'm saying I think that's just an empty hallway. You wouldn't have had also the admission that they found 3 other male DNAs, and
No, but
why
I'm
only
saying
in one
the
spot?
kids, not the police. I'm saying the kids.
But even the kids, why would you end up with? Okay, you're saying the kids left their DNA behind somewhere, but see, I don't know. I think that level
I'm
of
saying that
corruption
if it was microscopic and it was planted, it would have to be at a lab.
Done in a
But we have
lab.
nothing to-
Yep.
We have nothing
And-
to show that. Everything else that we look at, though, shows incompetence and stupidity, right? So the first warrant they issue is an alibi for Mr. Kohlberger. The first warrant they issue, search his car. No DNA, bro. Oh, there's an alibi for Kohlberger. Search his house. Search his workplace. Search his ass. Golf inspector.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And they
there,
find
right.
nothing.
Golf
Every
was
warrant
right
they
there.
issued produced
Golf was
nothing.
instructing. Golf was instructing. Move that hair
No, but
there.
you guys see what I mean? It's like it's one thing to plant the DNA, but how is it they didn't plant it in the car, in the apartment, in the workplace, on his key ring, and his comb, and his vacuum cleaner? How is it that none of that was produced? That's why I'm saying it's a tough hill to climb when you say it was planted. There's just nothing to support that.
No, I'm just
There really
throwing
isn't.
it out
folks. There
there.
was
that,
100 other ways you could have done
well,
it, and there were 100 other
right.
places you
But
could have
you
done
mentioned,
it again.
yeah, you mentioned that there was no way. And I'm just saying, well, the only way possible would be,
Yeah,
and
but I
especially
think we should take the
microscopic
whole
would be the
concept.
lab, And then it made me think, well, the kids hated him, dude. You don't know, the kids hated him as
I
a
don't know
teacher.
who hated him. Hated
Yeah,
who?
they totally hated him as a teacher. He was an asshole.
Well, that's okay.
From what I
That
hear,
doesn't mean you set them up for
and,
four.
and
But here's what I'm saying is you guys do know when you search a property, you're going through the guy's vacuum, you're taking his broom,
oh, right,
you're taking his pillowcases, you're
Mhm.
taking up carpets, you're going into the drains and opening up the traps.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
you're really going through shit. and you found nothing
Right.
on this guy. So if
Yeah,
somebody in the
nothing.
police department planted evidence against Koberger,
No, I'm not
that
saying
was the
police. I
worst thing
wasn't
they
saying
could have
police
ever have
department.
done here. I just can't believe
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. If they were, if there was them planting it, they would have planted it in the house too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Did
know what I mean?
anyone did anyone else read about that David Loach and Barry Ocha, or what was it? Anyway, the two Davids that was in the 4chan thing,
Oh,
that
yeah.
that Xana and or Ethan, one of them, walked in on them together, and that they were threatening to spill that, and that was one of the motivations for the fight that they had,
It could have been.
because
It
that
could have
would
been,
be
but here's
something
the,
that would
Yeah.
make them
There's
angry
more
enough
to
to.
this. There's more to this frat thing, and you know, and that's
Yeah.
going to come out. It's all going to come out. It is.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out. Every
I
little piece is going to come out.
I think I agree with Tommy. It's a combination of things, but
Yeah.
Well, I think when you sit back though
That's
and
why
look
it's
at
so
it objectively,
complex.
without if you
Mhm.
don't theorize and just look at the facts, CSI workers aren't protected in PPE. CSI workers are walking in the house with Q-tips, swabbing stuff with open hands, or a glove they took off, dropped on the ground, put it back on. They're not going in and out of the house and getting rid of their booties. They're doing everything they're not supposed to do to collect evidence. That's a fact.
Yep.
So that would explain if any of those people had any connection to WSU while the time Brian was a teacher, there's where
Mhm.
your DNA come from. Period. Stop.
Yeah.
The police themselves inadvertently put it there.
That
Okay.
could be.
Unbeknownst to them.
That could
Because
be.
of
That
the
very
way
well could
they
be.
handled the
Yeah.
scene. And
I
I think
saw.
it's like the worst stroke of bad luck any human being you'll ever know. I think they're going to
Mhm.
coin a phrase, Brian Koberger, when it comes to bad
Yeah.
luck.
See, this is where I was going with this. Was what Elbow was saying here. What El's saying here. First lab sheep. First lab sheet. First lab sheath was sent to found nothing. Same lab BK spent his time in, and then next found his DNA.
Thank
And
you, Elbow.
that's what I was trying to say a long time ago. That
That's what I'm trying to explain here.
He goes into those labs. He goes, well, that's what I was trying to say. What school has the labs? You know what I'm
WSU.
saying? And
Did you see
there
the pictures that Tommy took in that big ass building for criminology? Of course they
that
got labs
Roy
Rory, yeah.
was right in there. Yeah, Rory. Yeah, Tommy, Rory, Corey. It's all the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that in our future you're going to
Thank you,
see.
Timmy.
Oh man, you never guess what happened to me. They're going to say, "Do you have a Brian Koberger day?" You watch.
Yeah,
That's
but
what's going
still,
to come from this.
there's still a problem, right?
Mhm.
There is a problem that there is a sheet found on the crime scene.
Mhm.
It's got his DNA on it,
Yeah.
right? How it got there and all that we can discuss, but there's still that problem that
It isn't a problem,
it
though.
exists. I mean, it is to a certain degree because that needs explanation, right? Because
Right.
it was there,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
on the scene. So, however we look at it, it's there. So
But we
that's what I'm
don't.
saying.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you're right. That basic case, and that's where people in the jury are going to get hung up.
Exactly.
No, I
Is
see
that
your
how
point.
do you get rid of that? Like, where do
And
you
I think
take that?
what she just posted in here, Elbow posted, I think it was, and what I've been saying, and what you can prove with these lab workers and these CSI investigators and the police investigators moving in and out of that crime scene and connected to the university. I can see how this could accidentally. You guys know that there's a big movie about a guy that his DNA showed up at all of these horrible rapes and murders multiple times. It wasn't once or twice. It was like multiple times. They finally figured out who it was and went and arrested the guy. Well, the guy worked in the factory that made the Q-tips that were going into the swab testing kits. And his DNA was on the Q-tip. Right? So all of these crimes, they allege this guy is the murderer. And in the end, they found out, nope.
Right.
Nope. His DNA is there.
I think it's going to be.
And
so let's say that they get, Anne gets on a roll and showing all the evidence that supports that he's innocent, and then she brings up he worked in the same lab as. First, they didn't get any DNA. and then they, and they send it to another. That's the lab he worked in. They send it to another lab after it was in that lab, and all of a sudden, voila, there's DNA.
Right, voila, peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You're right.
Mm.
How did they explain? How does the prosecution explain that?
Who did the sheet belong to? Number one,
No one knows. I honestly think it belonged to one of the girls in that house. I believe that she kept that under her pillow or in her bed somewhere.
Just the sheet?
Nope, the knife itself and the sheath, and it got taken from her. That's my theory. There's no way to prove that, but the whole idea that you're going to commit that kind of a crime and not have that sheath attached to your belt where it belongs is insane.
That's just stupidity. Yeah,
that's like having a gun holster like a cop, and the cop leaves his gun holster behind.
Of course,
What?
that makes no sense, and I understand. I'm just saying, like, what are they fighting for? Like, what's the fight gonna be about?
I don't know.
There is a sheet with DNA on it that belongs to Koberger, right? And so, yes, how it got there is one thing, but the sheet is there. Who brought it in? Who does it belong to? And that's what I'm saying. I think
Who
the
found it?
corruption, and the corruption and all that set aside, I really think that the police believe that they had their man.
I think they thought they had their man too.
That's why they jumped the gun and was daring enough to do this in front of the whole wide world. Like everybody was watching around the globe as they did this, and then it just backfired on them,
Could I
unfortunately.
ask something or add something? I've had a feeling for a while now that they fit the crime to fit Koberger. They had Koberger first and then fit the crime to him.
Well, yeah, that's apparent, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so could it possibly be that they didn't like what he was about when he was, and they didn't want him part of the police? And when they needed, a patsy, he fit the bill. So they made
Again,
everything look like it was him.
But there's nothing else to see. That's a reach beyond reach, because there was no other incidents, and all their warrants exonerate the guy. Everything else they did from that point forward then leads to no. In other words, if I'm going to frame Tommy and I'm going to start out with something small, I got a plan to make sure this guy goes to jail. You're not just going to have transfer DNA from Tommy, okay? There's going to be more. I'm going to put his puppet somewhere. You're going to find it, okay? There's going to be more. And yet with Koberger,
that's true.
So if you're going to frame somebody, you pick the most ridiculous, difficult, retarded way to go about it.
Well, they are kind of that way.
Well, but again, that goes against them in as much as how they handle the crime scene, which then gives you the story of how the touch DNA got on the sheath. It was through their bumbling retardation, right?
Okay. Yeah.
More than they
I don't think so,
planted it
Sarge.
and- Pardon?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
You're going to be the
that-
crime scene.
Hey, Tommy, I'm going to jump down and let you guys chat, and I just want to listen for a while. I've said about all I can think of to say. Oh, I might jump up later if I.
It was wonderful hearing your voice.
Oh,
finally.
I enjoy you guys so much. I just finally hooked up my webcam and my mic and stuff today. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice to hear your voice.
Oh,
Very
you'll
nice.
be hearing a
Thank
lot
you.
from me. So you
Yeah.
guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll check with you all later.
You too.
All right, catch you later. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
And you know what is funny too? People have mentioned someone named Detective John talks about me a lot. But I guarantee you he's the same bumbling idiot, okay, that most of these police are, that don't follow procedure, and they act on emotion, and they act on a bad day, and they don't follow procedures, and they get away with it because the citizenry gets intimidated. I was told to leave a parking lot on a beach. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Under what guise do you think you have to can order me off the beach? There's no danger here. I'm no threat. And the thing is open for 2.5 more hours. Well, you're loitering. I said, well, that's what you do at a beach. You loiter. It's the purpose of a beach. And I just turned around and walked back to my car, and the guy walked off. But you're not kicking. And, a cop goes by you at 60 and a 35. We should be taking their car license plate number and turning them in. That should be our job as citizens. These guys take advantage of what they can take advantage of, and then it turns into these nightmares like we're looking at with Koberger. It's insanity. And I think it's corrupt to go 60 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Just because you got lights on your car and carry a gun, what gives you the right to go faster than me? Nothing. You're still a citizen. You're still bound by the same laws as I am. And you see these cops violating that all the time. And it's very sad. And I think that there's so much of it in the Koberger case that it's disgusting.
Yeah. That's true. Does anybody else want to jump on?
Yeah, someone come in here and shut me the hell up, would you? Bring that Detective John in here.
Oh, I tried the other night. Trust me. I was coaxing, but he didn't show up.
And we all come up with, we're putting together different theories and stuff, which is fine, but we know there's theories. There's no way to prove some of the things we've said. But some things that they do show us just doesn't make sense. For example, the only way that car could have been caught on a camera other than the 1112 Queen on the corner of Queen and King Road, they caught the 3-point turn. So for that car that was allegedly part of this crime, for it to have left that neighborhood and not be caught there, it would have had to drive through the Linda Lane complex and go out through the complex to Taylor Road, make a left, and then get caught on Walenta Drive. So my point is, if this person knew they could exit that way, what was all of that confusing driving that they were going up and down the street, turning around, going in a parking lot, doing
Right. I think that was a
nonsense?
diversion. I think that was a diversion. I think that car was there to make it look like Kohlberger. That's
Dude,
my
I think
opinion.
that was the DoorDash driver.
That could
really
be too. Yep.
Yeah.
That could be.
Because
and I
the
agree
car
with you
ended
on. I wasn't at the mic, but I agree with you on the point of, because I see it almost every fucking day when I go to town, and the police go whizzing by at fucking 75, 80 miles an hour and a 65. I mean, they're doing that all the time.
They're on their cell phones all the time too.
Yeah, and what just because they have a badge doesn't give them a right to go against the laws of this country or the counties or the state or whatever. Doesn't give them that right.
No, and that's the biggest part of corruption. When Black Lives Matter screams endemic systematic corruption, what I'm explaining to you is exactly what they're talking about. The problem for them is, and even the problem for me,
it's the attitude.
Is when you tell the public stuff like this, it just goes on deaf ears. It's like corruption to them is you planting a gun in a scene. That's corrupt. Yeah, it is. But so is going 65 into 35. That's how you become corrupt.
Right.
Well, they're not allowed to do that.
You, not me.
That's illegal for them to do too. By the way, you can report that.
I do.
They're only allowed to do that if they have their lights on.
And I do report them. I've done it several times. I pull over into a place where they set up for radar. I was going 55 because I saw the trooper come out of the barracks. They go by me at least 80. And 10 miles down the road where I'm going, isn't that because I took the car number? Isn't that car pulling over and setting up radar? I pulled right in. Said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't acceptable." And I called the barracks and blew them in. You're going to go by me at 80 so you could park and give other people tickets? Who do you think you are?
Right.
No.
Rita, Boston's got something here, and I want to touch on a little bit. That too, Tommy, and the sorority. I think some of those females were seriously jealous of the girls. And I want to bring up that, and I hate saying this because, I mean no disrespect or anything, but it's kind of known that to some people, they weren't the nicest to, and that they were a little uppity, and I hate going here. Really do. But I think when you're talking about these frat houses and stuff like that,
the haves and have-nots.
Yeah, and I think there was some that weren't just jealous; they were pissed off at those girls for something.
And that's why I've always had an issue with Dylan.
Yeah,
I've always had an issue with Dylan. I said the few things in the very beginning, going back to January, were drugs or a love triangle of some sort, some way. Yeah. Somebody knew these people that did what they did, and they had a jealousy issue, and it was just deep rooted and turned into hate.
And I think there's, and as complex as this case is, I think there is a few different angles. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just one. Well, it's the drugs. People could try to get into. It isn't just that. I think there was a few different things that created this, and I believe that a lot of people knew this was going down. I don't think they knew exactly that it was going to be, the big K's. You know what I'm talking? But they knew there was going to be a fight, and I think everybody at that grub truck, you watch them, and I mean, they knew something was going down, and I truly believe that. This was, it was kind of I think it was planned out in advance, and I think people knew about it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe, like everybody else. Even if Koberger is the guy that did it, my objection isn't who did it, who didn't do it, or how they did it. It's how the government handled this situation, because this is a really big deal when 4 young people are murdered for whatever reason. That the people that we entrust and that we pay follow the policies and procedures that result in an outcome that's justice. And justice isn't hinging upon the fact that you're an idiot that can't fill out a form of paperwork, or you can't get the warrant in order of the process that's set in front of you. That's what bothers me here.
And it bothers me too when you look at and let me get you guys' opinion on this. When you look at that PCA, the PCAs are getting more political written than they are just telling the fucking story. I mean, do you remember when it was all stuff was all handwritten, and this is the report, and they just wrote down what the hell happened. Now it's just fucked up, dude. It's I don't know. It was too.
I think what you're talking about is not, it's not political. It's
what's the word I'm looking
opinion,
for?
opinion based. Opinion based.
Can I just say, it's again, that's when a policeman puts in a PCA, that it's been my experience that criminals turn their phones off prior to committing a crime. That's him becoming the law. He's not the law.
Right.
He's just some idiot in a uniform, right? Like you and me. He's a jerk. He's an asshole. He's a doofus like me.
Yeah, and you're talking about an area that doesn't have good. It's not like it's like in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and you get you have towers everywhere. I mean, this is a place that you can lose.
Even if there were 100 towers on that block, my point is the PCA. The words used in the PCA are not evidence that this person likely committed the crime. A lot of people don't realize that's the standard for an arrest warrant. Your evidence that you submit to the judge must show that this named individual likely committed the crime. Period.
And this is a dude with 2 years experience, like small time crime.
Right.
Like I'm talking about catching petty theft, and like that's his experience. 2 years.
Right.
And in his experience, criminals do what he said, in the PCA from your 2 years experience, dude.
And why was he even chosen to do that? To be the lead investigator and on something that huge? Why was he even fucking chosen? I mean, this is the biggest thing the biggest case Idaho's ever seen, and let's pick this guy. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, take out the DNA and just look at the accusations. One accusation states they got a white car. The question the judge is supposed to ask is, were there any identifiers to connect that to the named suspect? And you would have to say, no, Your Honor. Oh, okay. Phone pings. We had the suspect in the area 12 times prior to the murder, but on the night of the murder, his phone wasn't reporting to a tower. So are you saying you can't place him by his phone? And the cop would have to say, well, no, Your Honor. And the judge was supposed to say, I'm sorry, I can't give you a warrant. Those two aspects of the PCA are the most ridiculous things I've ever read in my life. None of them place Koberger at that house.
It's fucking crazy.
It's infuriating. And this is how our country's going all over the place. Our kids are going to school.
You know what? It might not be that either. I can't remember who it was up here. Who was it that said, and I posted it up on the page there. Do we think that Brian is just a diversion because of this other investigation going on, and it's going to all tie into the murders and everything else. And I guess as crazy as this case is, you almost have to look at that. Is Brian part of an investigation?
I don't think so. I just don't think so. That would mean that no, I just don't think so.
I know it's a tough one, but I mean, as crazy as this case is, every time something comes up, and the more delays and all this and that, and the way this case is gone, it's just it almost has to be in there. You know what I mean? It almost has to be in.
Let me contrast
go
this
ahead.
with something.
Go ahead. Yep.
If what the cops said in that warrant is viable information to charge a man with multiple flames, right? Then why is it that drug dealing girl, Emily, and her boyfriend got a charge dismissed because it was filed in the wrong location? You can't have those two events in the same town and make sense of them. One is a cop telling you what his experience has been. Was your experience include seeing Brian Koberger turn off his phone? No, Your Honor. That you take the cop outside and slap him with his own baton. Bang. You're an idiot.
They're making
right?
themselves look like idiots. They are. They're making their whole state look like a bunch of fucking stupid idiots.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's all over the place. And this case
I don't know. That stuff doesn't happen much in Minnesota. I mean, it does happen, but not like it. I mean, Idaho, it's like boom, bam, bam, boom. And it's like, what the hell's wrong with this state?
my local detective set my father up as a gangster years after he was too old to even be an effective gangster. They set him up and 5 other men and arrested them, indicted them with a secret indictment, with a secret grand jury on RICO charges. And in the end, all the alleged allegations of the cops were not only proven wrong, but the cops stole the money they claimed that these gangsters were giving them to pay him off. So when they opened up the evidence envelopes, they were full of news. There were a printer paper cut to the size of the bills.
You must live by New York or something. You got to be.
Dude, I do live by New York, but there was not a single shred of evidence that they bribed anybody. Dude, it was like, are you people serious?
Right.
And this is 20 years ago they did that. So these detectives were going around to these after-hour clubs and forcing these guys to pay them juice so they wouldn't bust them. That was what was really happening.
That's all. That's New York there. That's
man.
Definitely New York, man. Yep.
But at the same time,
yeah, but you gotta love New York. You gotta love New York anyway. You know,
if you love criminal enterprise, New York is the place to live.
Right.
Now the government in New York has got webcams on the inspector's machine who inspects your car to watch.
No, ass inspectors?
Car inspectors.
No, inspector. They still have car inspections yearly.
Yeah.
For that, yeah.
And the mechanic shops that have an inspection machine have a webcam that films them and records them while they're doing the inspection on your car. This state is bad, man.
Wow.
They want their money.
Right. Yeah. And that's
But
what
back
it's
to
all
poor Brian.
about. It's getting to be more about money, and that's what's sad.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about this shit. Little things that piss me off.
I spent 3 hours.
It's like when you're single or like an older person and you're living on your own and you want to go buy a fucking little can of beans, right? Because you're on your own. You don't need this big fucking can of beans. But they make it so high for that little can of beans that for a little bit more, you get this big fucking can of beans. Yeah. And it's like, why are you charging the older people and single people more money than you are? If you know what I mean? Well, I don't know.
I was on a home
that shit's
show.
Always bugged me.
Last weekend, I was on a home improvement show for 3 hours.
I know what?
And the talking of illegal immigrants in my industry doing this work, and I said that I won't hire them. And the guy, he goes, why? He goes, because they're from South America. I go, why do you got to jump to racism? I said, I'm going to explain to you why I won't hire these folks. First of all, they can't be recorded for taxes. You're paying them under the table. You're paying them half of what the actual guys I have working for me that are American citizens get paid, right? And you're pocketing that money as the business owner. You're not passing the savings off to the homeowner. So you're paying guys half what I pay, and you're keeping that money to enrich yourself. Basically, You're taking advantage of another human being for profit. It's immoral,
all
and I
about
just
money,
won't
dude.
do it.
It's all about
I just
money.
won't do it, man. I'm not
It's
going to
all
take
about
advantage
money.
of a guy. I don't care where you're born. I love everybody. You could be born in a country I never heard of, and you could be 48 shades of 10 colors. I don't care.
Yeah, but
Your
the
God could
problem
be a
is that
pea. You could pray to a fava bean plant. I don't care. If you're qualified to do the job and you're a legitimate citizen of this country, I want you to work for me. But if you're not, I mean, I don't want any involvement.
my son,
Illegal.
my son's he's in construction, and he left here. He's making $71 an hour working for PCL, man, 8th largest construction company in the world, and he worked for him before too, and they hire him right there. They don't need to hire illegal immigrants.
Right.
The only thing is that some of them they come in. They can come in and like pick fruit and stuff, and we know we need some of them people too. So
we do. There should be a system for these people to come forward up here legally, so nobody takes
and it's been
advantage
going
of
on since America was born.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? Yeah, it's been going on since America.
Yeah, a lot of those folks used to come up for the farms, and they go back after the crop was pulled. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Out in Washington, they got those. It's almost like barracks. That's what they remind me of.
But those guys are recorded by the government. Those farmers are keeping their names. They're actually, it's done honestly.
Yeah, right.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand with all these countries coming in. They got to have something done there. But there's so much going on.
But then it also does to our poor schools. What's happened here in Idaho? Now it's overflowing into kids being killed all over the country.
Yeah,
by the use of drugs or the violence of drugs. It's just.
Well, I think that's what what's her name was going into, Nick's Peaks there. Did you get that golf? I think she was trying to connect with, what was it, North Carolina, was it, or something? South Carolina?
Yeah, but
But wasn't there like 3 killed there or 4
there was,
killed there too? Yeah.
And it's all over the country.
And it is.
know,
Yeah. It's just sad what's going on.
And it doesn't make the news, so people don't have this instant, like we see stuff because we look. We're interested. We want to know things, and so we see a side of things that are horrific that most of the country, or a lot of the country, isn't exposed to. And they're sending.
Yeah, well, we're always looking at it. We're interested in crime. I mean,
Yeah.
And I think more people are getting more interested about all the time. There's one other thing I wanted to. You guys go ahead and talk. I got to find something. So
I'm just gonna throw something in there because from that video, Nick Speaks, I think it said something about we don't know the FBI agent, which agency they were from, but I swear in one of the interviews with law enforcement, they said that the FBI was out of Salt Lake City. And I don't know if anybody remembers hearing that.
I do remember hearing that, but I don't know if it was from you or not.
Yeah, I mean, I never mentioned. I just saw it on the video, but and then I was like, no, hold on, they were from out of Salt Lake City because that's what
I thought they were out of Salt Lake. That's what.
Yeah, that's what they like. Law enforcement. It was an interview with somebody, and that's where they were out of. So she was right in that video that's where they came out of, is Salt Lake. Well, she didn't say that, but she thought so, or Nick Speaks thought so.
Right. Okay. I want to ask a question to the audience because I want to know who these people are, and I don't. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't look into them before, or maybe I didn't even see them. That's I don't know. Anyway, I want to know who these people are. Oh, come on. Well, I'm going to stop you in a minute. And I want you to tell me who these 2 people are. It's these 2 right here. This guy with this black shirt on with the long sleeves and this white hoodie guy. Who are those people? Anybody know? So I'm talking this guy right here and this guy right here. And even
Both
this
of them are
girl
over
with the
6
hat
foot.
on. Right. I want to know who they are. Anybody know?
No clue.
Do you know, Golf?
I have no clue.
I try not to study those videos too much because we can extrapolate so many different theories from them that it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm trying to.
I sort of feel
yeah,
the
but I'm
same
trying to
way.
find out who it is. I need to actually. Yeah, I want to know who it is. And I thought this would be a great place to find out. Is if anybody knows. Bubbly, do you know who that is? What's
She put a name in there.
was said last night? She put a name. Who?
Yeah.
Matt May?
Moyer.
Bubbly Waters.
Matt. I bet you it's Meyer. Huh? Matt Meyer. Okay, yeah, Matt Meyer.
But why would it matter?
I need to write this. I need to remember this here. I'm not very good at remembering shit.
Yeah, who does go through all these videos with a microscope, and it's interesting, but it goes, you know, there's just so many different avenues you could go with them.
Yeah,
and there's nothing definitive pointing into one conclusion. You know what I mean?
Matt Meyer and who else? They say somebody else.
Oh,
Even that girl. Even that girl.
Moya.
Is it Meyer or Moyer?
Moya.
Yeah.
M-O-Y-E.
Oh, May. I bet you it's May. Or
No,
Moy.
it's Moy.
Yeah, it's Moy.
Matt Moy.
That's not supposed to be Moyer. It's supposed to be just Moy.
Just Moy. Yeah, it's incredible. The time.
Oh, so kids are at the band field. That's what I thought. Right there, they're at the band field. The guy with the black. This dude right here.
Mm-hmm.
Those black sleeves. Okay. And this white hoodie is different than Showalter's. Now, this girl, does anybody know who that girl is? And who's the guy in right here? The one in the gray hoodie. I'm just trying to find some names. Anybody know the white hood, the gray hoodie guy?
No. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even attempt to find
Yeah,
out.
me neither.
Okay. I would have no idea.
Well, I got one name there, and I'm wondering about the girl.
Guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you because I need to go to bed.
Okay, that's what I want.
But I'm gonna listen in. I'm gonna listen in.
Okay.
And
well, actually,
again,
I'm probably gonna close it down.
No, I want to listen.
Oh, thank you.
It gives me something to do. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, are you
tired, Tommy?
I didn't. You know, the thing is, I didn't have anything planned tonight. I mean, this just kind of came up. You know that. I was working on something else. And
tomorrow is clean both Corvettes day for me, so I can get up at any time.
No, fuck you, dude.
Anyway,
well, you got
congrats,
two. Give me one.
Congrats, Sarge, on your birthday, and Tommy on your fantastic 1,000K sub.
Well,
I wanted to give Tommy a tip at our age. I wanted to give Tommy a tip while you were still here to make a comment about it.
What?
Well, I was going to say, as we get older, things change. I said, one of the things that change that you need to adapt to is when you approach women, it's not about how big your thing is. It's that your wallet's way bigger than that. That matters.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I learned that pretty young, though. Didn't take me long to learn that one, dude.
Yep. I like
big
wallets.
I got a big wallet. I cannot lie.
Right?
Why not? All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right. Good night,
Pebble says she's got a bigger wallet than me. I'm saying, well, Pebbles, you went to a doctor you should have avoided. You should have kept your original equipment.
Actually, I was on doing something else, and someone messaged me going, "You passed 1,000," and then
yeah, Dago was promoting you earlier. I earlier the other day I heard him promoting you.
Yeah, and I thank him for that. He came in on one of the chats. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's mostly you guys and Rory. It's helped me tremendously. and you and golf. You know, I mean, and then it's all about the people out here. It isn't about me getting there. They're here. They're the ones that made the 1,000, you know. So I give it to all and to my mods. Al, you made my night last night when I seen that. Were you in here when we were talking about that, Sarge, or not?
I wasn't in here last night, no.
No, I mean, when we were talking about it earlier. Oh, that was fucking funny as hell, dude.
What was it? Just what was the topic?
Well, Jeff came in here. He's been talking shit about you and Rory and me over at Detective John's channel.
Who's Jeff?
Jeff H. And
I thought he was the guy that came in here to try and make all nice with everybody on Rory.
right. Well, he does do that. And Al caught him in here.
Well, didn't you hear what I said in the private
I
chat
said
after the-
I actually took a snapshot, screenshot of what she said, man. It was awesome.
Well, listen, I said that in a private conversation, well, not private, but in an off-show, non-broadcast conversation that I didn't care for the guy, Jeff, because he makes everything about people and himself. And when people are making everything about themselves or other people, that I just don't go along with people like that. They're bad people.
Right.
I don't want to make drama. I'm not in here. I just don't want
No, and then this isn't a drama channel whatsoever, and I don't want it. And my mods know it.
Right. And I disagree with
and Al, but Al booted him like immediately. Didn't even give him a chance. Didn't give him a chance to try his bullshit. You know what I mean?
People keep telling me about this Detective John. I don't even know who he is.
Oh, he's a dick, dude. He's a dick.
He's one of those guys that goes 60 and 35.
And there's another one that just tore you apart, dude.
Who?
That's what I'm trying to remember. The fucker's
That's
name.
awesome.
Sarge, right?
Dude, they're building
That's
me
the
a
way I
following.
look at it too.
Dude, they're
That's the way
building
I
me a
look at it.
following. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Listen, a lot of people may not know, but I do have Asperger's. So I become highly focused on something and I won't let it go. But Pitbull's got nothing on me when it comes to knowledge. I will not let that.
And
Right?
we know that about you.
And we know that, right? So
we know that, and we love
it
you
is who I
for
am.
that.
That's who I am. And some people like it,
that's what
some
makes-
people can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
cool.
makes our little four people so awesome. And it's helped me grow. And it's you guys.
Right.
And of course, the subs and the mods that
You know
make
what
this channel what it is.
But here's the best thing I think about it. First of all, they're building me an audience. But second of all, my response to those people is nothing. I really don't care.
Yeah,
I think
don't
that if I have that much location in your brain that I get rent free, you're doing me a favor.
Right. And
right.
Right.
Nobody lives in my head for free.
And I even feel bad saying
wife,
something. I don't like trashing anybody's channel. I'm not into it, But when you go in and they're trashing myself and I didn't say a fucking word, dude. I just left. You know what I mean? I was like, this is fucking bullshit. This guy is fucking bullshit. So if you ever want some entertainment, go ahead and
what show
is it? Actually, I dropped a couple of turds on that one.
What show
was
is
another
it? I
one.
don't even know. Whose show is it though?
I don't. Detective John, I think, is what he goes by or something. I can't remember the name of
He's
the
got
show.
his own show.
Yeah. And he's a former police officer, but yeah, he's just you'll have fun if you go in there and drop some turds and stuff.
Maybe I have gone in his show, and I don't know that that's
You
who
might
he
have,
is.
yeah.
Because I post in his comments, and one guy that I posted the other day just attacked me, and I said, "Listen, I disagree with your conclusions. You disagree with mine. There's no need to attack somebody. Behave like an adult."
Right, and that's what that's what I don't get. Even though and I usually don't do that, but I did leave him a couple turds, because it was upsetting because it was about us four, and I guess the only thing I can think of is he feels threatened. So, but he's only got he's like me. He's like at 1,000 subs or something. He's not like Rory or anybody else around. You know what I mean? He's not going to build up by doing that, by being like that. He's just not. It's going to take him longer. He's a fake cop.
People know who I am and Look at, I'm the guy that'll say all the time, you can't learn unless you're wrong. There's nothing for you to learn there. And if you're wrong,
You know what?
You're trying to figure something out.
You're right. And I told somebody yesterday, it isn't when in life, it isn't, I've done right and I've done wrong, but it isn't the rights that you learn from. It's the fucking wrongs that you've done that you learn from. You know what I mean? It isn't the right that you do. It's the wrongs that because I've done a lot of wrong shit in my life,
So
and I'm sure you have.
We shared it online.
Right. And that's, but what do you learn from? You learn from the wrongs. You don't learn from the rights, So yeah,
And
I guess
listen,
we're pretty knowledgeable, huh?
You know what the difference between being smart and wise is? You know what the difference is? A smart guy learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others' mistakes.
Right. Well, that's
the difference between smart and wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. But
I don't know.
I'm
That's
smart.
my
I'm not wise. I'm smart.
Well, as we get older, you get wiser, and that's what they're. That's really my interpretation of what they're sharing. When they say,
that's a very good analogy there. Yeah.
That's how I view it. Smart. Everybody's smart. I think everybody in the chat room, everybody in the internet is smart at something. Guarantee it. Right.
Right. Yeah.
They may not be able to put a light bulb in, but that's not a basis under which you tested someone's ability of smarts. Being able to change a light bulb don't mean nothing. That person may know how to molecularly connect and create new life in a laboratory, but they can't change a light bulb. Right. They might work on rockets, but they can't change a light bulb. So there is no basic test. And that's why I say everybody's smart at something. Everybody.
Right. Yeah. Smart. Everybody. Yes. Right? Yes. I agree. 100%
is smart at something.
That's why I never try to cut anybody down. And I don't feel good about saying something about him, but when he attacked me, I don't. And you know what? I'm not going to cut down his channel. And if you guys want to go watch him, that's fine. I don't have no qualms anymore. I dropped my couple turds. And it's all right. But I wanted you to know that. And there's one other, but I can't remember.
Part of T-Rev,
and that guy really ripped on you. Oh my God, it was awful.
Who was it?
And that's what I'm trying to remember.
That's awesome.
It's in one of my shows. People were talking about it. It's in one of my recent shows.
Where am I when this stuff comes up? Why doesn't anything get said when I'm around?
Right. Oh, that's it right there, Pebbles. That's it right there. Get a clue. What? Get a clue. That's the name of the channel.
Oh. Well, yeah, Pebbles finally came through for me. Should I propose marriage?
Pebbles always comes through for me. She's from Res too, man. She's from Minnesota too. So she is, man. She's a Minnesota girl.
Will that wallet thing work on her?
She's my girl. Okay. I don't know. I don't think you want to mess with any Res girls.
T-Rev actually doxed me. T-Rev doxed me on his show.
What's that?
T-Rev actually doxed me on one of his shows. He had people call in to talk to him. He revealed who I was through my caller ID. He put it right out on the air. What? Then he tried to narrow my location down. He was trying to put that on the air too.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, man. That's the last time I went to his channel. I'm like, what kind of a loser does that? You could disagree with me. You can say that the cop's opinion about what someone does with their phone is evidence of a crime. You can say that all you want and believe it. You could go to bed with it. You could bang it. You could eat it. You could sniff it. I disagree with you.
Yeah,
right. A policeman's statement of what he believes you did. You can believe I did a lot of things, pal, but you better be able to prove it before you put it in print to go get a warrant to arrest me. They arrested me for possession of drugs. I told the cop, I'm going to sue. You can't. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the drugs were in my friend's pocket, not mine. How do you arrest us both for possession when the shit's in his pocket?
All right.
Think about that, Tommy.
Yeah.
They paid me 10 grand for 4 hours in jail for that one.
Right. Yeah, I remember you telling me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So these police do things and they think that they're the law, and they're not. There's laws they're supposed to follow just like you and me. And then they enforce those exact same laws that they foul, just like you and me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I think I'm going to shut her down and roll on.
All righty.
Thanks for coming on, Sarge. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Because you're a big part of that 1,000, man.
Nah, I don't mind. If you could get 100,000, I'd be even happier. So the more people bad talk me, the more to let them know where I'm at.
Yeah, any press is good press, right?
Yeah, listen, there's no such thing as bad advertisement.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. What the hell?
Brother?
Just mention McDonald's. Right. Even if you hate it, you're still advertising for them.
Yep.
All right, have a good night, Thomas.
All right, yep, you too. There, Sarge. Take care, man. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Yep, and yeah, thank you very much. You guys are the awesomest. You know that already. You are the best. The mods, awesome. I can't say enough about you guys, man. For new people that are in here, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time around.
Shines in the light, a glow of her eyes, my soul unites. The rain stops into the night. I walk in shadows of the moonlight. When the time is right and the stars shine bright, I'll kiss my lady through the night. Oh, my lady, do you hear all those whispers in your ear? I walk in shadows of the moonlight. Stars stuck in time, it always seems to seem alright. My thoughts inside, I miss it day and night. There's only one reason to stay up all night. Shadows of I'm slipping away, it's almost time. Take my hand, my lady, please don't cry. Hold me forever until I die. Don't be lonely, I'm by your side. I walk in the shadows.